My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here. Today is December 16, 2023. It is 4:46 a.m. So this is video number 2. I have 19 more tweets to share with you. So let's get started. This is my background. 3,642 subscribers. New subscribers, welcome. I went over this. Nothing changed on video 1 except for the subscription. All right. 3,642 subscribers. Okay. So let's go on Twitter. I went over this in video 1, so let's do video 2. We're starting with this. Let's see here. Some of the tweets that I have on many of my videos are I put them on my community board. Okay, next tweet. So this one I went over it on video 1. Okay, there's the T here. I so love this for Piers Morgan. According to the court, he knew about the phone hacking, so the loudest mouth in the campaign of virtual hate, unjustified abuse, and unwarranted cruelty toward Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, with presumably backing of the royal family and power of British media giving him free rein, has just been shamed as a liar. There's that here. Now you know why he hates Omid so much and went on a rampage trying to discredit him and his book Endgame. Alright, so that's okay. For the sake of this, let's read it. Okay, I'll pick it from video 1 and put it here because I read it already. Piers Morgan knew about phone hacking and was involved when he was editor of the Daily Mirror, the High Court has ruled. In a highly significant part of the judgment, Mr. Justice Fancourt listed times when Morgan was said to have been aware of phone hacking and the evidence had not been contested. He also said that he found evidence about Morgan's involvement to be credible and it had not been counted by the Mirror Group. During a key part of the case, the now royal author Omid Scobie recalled an incident he had witnessed when he was a student intern at the newspaper group working on its 3 a.m. girls' entertainment desk. He told the court that in 2002, he had witnessed Morgan discuss an article about Kylie Minogue and Morgan. The then editor had asked the journalists how confident they were about the story. Morgan was told, Scobie recalled, that the source had been a voicemail. Mr. Justice Fancourt said that recollection was supported by evidence of an invoice from a private investigator related to obtaining Minogue's mobile phone number and that of her then partner, James Gooden. Scobie said that the incident had stuck in his mind because it had influenced the decision he made about what kind of journalist he wanted to be. Today, the judge said, I found Mr. Scobie to be a straightforward and reliable witness, and I accept what he said about Mr. Morgan's involvement in the Minogue Gooden story. No evidence was called by MGN to contradict it. Alright, okay, so there it is here. Alright, so there's this. He was so hoping King Charles III will have sued Omid. That's why he outed Charles and Kate on British TV as the royal racist in Endgame. Then, the next day, all the papers were saying BP will sue, only for BP itself to say no. What a disappointment that was for him. Alright, there's that again. I really went over this in video 1 and I have so much more to share with you. I don't want to waste too much time on this tweet because I went over it in video 1. Alright, next tweet. It was within another tweet, that's why. Someone had retweeted it. And even as Prince Harry went to court to fight the vile British media, his brother Prince William climbed into bed with them and the spies the media planted in his palace. To top it off, William accepted hush money from Rupert Murdoch and kept using the press to hurt Harry. Alright, so there's all of this here. Baggage for God, baggage for God. Okay, Prince William quietly received a very large sum of money in 2020 settlement with the British newspaper arm of Rupert Murdoch's media empire for phone hacking, according to court documents. Alright, so there's that here. That was from NBC News, that's in the US. Harry is not a wimp like the rest. A retweet of that, a global overview of phone hacking scandal and privacy breaches. Phone hacking scandal have been a recurring issue globally with notable cases in Great Britain and beyond. I don't want to go into that because I'm sure it's a long thread. Let's see here. Oh, not much. So let's go over it. Let's see what she wrote here. Or he. Okay, a global review of phone hacking scandal and privacy breaches. Phone hacking scandal have been recurring issues globally with notable cases in Great Britain and beyond. Here's a brief overview of some key incidents. 1. News of the World scandal, UK 2011. The News of the World, a British tabloid, faced a major scandal when it was revealed that they had hacked into the voicemails of celebrities, politicians, and crime victims. Journalists and editors were accused of unethical practices to obtain information. The scandal led to the closure of the newspaper and multiple arrests. 2. Rupert Murdoch's media empire, UK, US, Australia. The News of the World scandal prompted broader investigation into Rupert Murdoch's media empire. Allegations of phone hacking extended to other Murdoch-owned publications, including The Sun. The scandal had repercussions beyond the UK, with investigation in the US and Australia. Look at what just happened with the Dominion thing. Okay, 3. Operation Reading, UK ongoing. Following the initial scandal, Operation Reading was launched by British authorities to investigate further allegations of phone hacking. Journalists, private investigators, and public officials were among those implicated. Legal proceedings and settlements continues for several years. 4. Mexican government surveillance. Oh, this is new to me. I didn't know Mexico was part of that as well. So let's see here. The first thing that came to mind was where Trump wanted to bomb Mexico. Oh my God, lunatic. Okay, Mexico 2017. Okay, the New York Times reported that the Mexican government allegedly used advanced spyware to hack into the phone of journalists, activists, and political opponents. The scandal raised concern about the misuse of surveillance technology for political purposes. Okay, I mean, I'm sure all of whoever is clinging to power probably are doing that. Okay, 5. NSO allegedly. Okay, NSO groups Pegasus spyware global ongoing. The Israeli firm NSO Group faced allegation of selling Pegasus sophisticated spyware to governments with questionable human rights records. Pegasus what? This is the thing here. What's going on in the Middle East here? So they probably have a lot of things on other people. So let's listen here. Pegasus was reportedly used to hack into the phone of journalists, human rights activists, and political dissidents worldwide. What is it? A lot of Middle Eastern journalists have been shot, killed. Okay, 6. News Corp Australia phone hacking, Australia ongoing. Phone hacking allegation extended to News Corp's Australian operations, leading to investigation into potential privacy breaches and illegal information gathering practices. The scandal implicated several media outlets in Australia. Phone hacking scandals underscored the ethical challenges in journalism and the potential for misuse of technology for surveillance. Governments, media organizations, and technology firms continue to grapple with issues related to privacy, freedom of the press, and the responsible use of surveillance tools. Legal action, investigation, and debates around regulation remain ongoing in various parts of the world. Wow, this is very interesting. Okay, so there's all of this here. What is it? Just images. Then dead. Okay, this, even if I could see it, it's too much to read. Okay. I'm beginning to believe that Piers Morgan lies about everything. Okay, there's all of that. Alright, so let's go to the next tweet. Did I read some of the comments here? Alright, other rubbish, paranoia. So what is this here? Only a few days after Prince Harry announced his intention to sue the toxic British press, Prince William met the editor of the Sunday Times. What purpose should this meeting serve if not to reassure the tabloid that the royal family is on their side? Whole story. Oh my god, so much more to it. I think I put this on my community board as well. Okay, so this one is legible. So let's see here. What happened? By the time of Diana's death, Harry grew up in a dysfunctional family where he became the scapegoat. To undermine his self-esteem, the royal family, with the help of the tabloid, framed him as naughty and stupid to protect their own reputation. His father and later his brother supplied the tabloid with negative stories about Harry. I remember there's a article that I saw by accident where Charles is taking William to parties with the tabloid. And when I first came across that, and I said, he's training him to do the same thing. And now we're seeing the result of all of that. How the brother, you know, they made a pact as young men, young boys, that they will not be in bed with the tabloid. But the other one betrayed him because the father was training him to do so. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's what came to mind with that. When Meghan, as an outsider, entered the family, she could recognize the abusive family structures, conveyed to Harry that this is not normal and that not he is the problem. She equipped him with the necessary self-esteem to break free from this abusive structure. To lose the control over Harry posed a threat to the royal family, particularly to the symbiotic relationship between the royal family and the already financially strained tabloid. At latest, with the Oceania tour, Harry and Meghan became so popular that they became a powerhouse within the royal family. And the following, the royal family and the tabloid tried everything to bring Harry and Meghan down again. The tabloid started a smear campaign with repeatedly employ misogynistic and racist stereotype, while 72 female parliamentarians penned an open letter criticizing the press for the misogynistic and racist campaign. The campaign were fooled by repeatedly leaks from Kensington Palace with the intention of breaking Meghan, forcing her out of the country, to separate Harry from his support network. Wow. All this is true. This made her suicidal, to one of the most hated women in the world and the target of right-wing terrorists. My goodness, my goodness. God protect us. Baggage for you. In February 2019, William hit Harry to the ground. He came when Meghan was in New York for her baby shower, accused her of bullying. This was another try to separate Harry from his support network, and he tried to cover it up. Don't tell Meghan. All of this is a typical for a late stage of abuse and domestic violence. But instead of achieving that, Meghan leaves the country alone. Harry and Meghan decided to take the fight against the press to court. This made the threat to the symbiotic relationship between the royal family. This is very good. That is true. Yes, the squad could understand all of this. I don't know who wrote this. Okay, and the British tabloid will impose a threat to the business model of the tabloid. In 2019, 10/11, okay, only a few days after Prince Harry announced his intention to sue the tabloid on 2019, 10 to okay, 04. Okay, the way they write it is okay, so this is the year, the month, and the day. Prince William met with the editor of the Sunday Times in a pub in South London. What purpose should this meeting serve if not to reassure the tabloid that the royal family is on their side and to discuss how they could collaborate against Prince Harry and put pressure on him? My goodness, this is where, is it Jeremy Vine? Okay, someone at the palace went too far. This is what it is here.
Is that the case?
No, absolutely not. No, I mean, and if we're talking about why this whole, you know, Harry Meghan thing started, it started because several years ago, if you cast your mind back, the Queen was and always will be the most popular royal, but second to that was Harry. It wasn't William and Kate. It was not William and Kate. And when Harry and Meghan became such a popular couple, it put everybody's noses out of joint. The establishment wanted to retain the monarchy as it was, to boost William and Kate, and the media, the Daily Mail and the Telegraph in particular, fed those lines.
Well,
drip,
I
drip,
don't.
drip, drip,
I agree
drip.
with everything until you said the last bit. I think that somebody in the palace decided to take them
Yes.
down a peg or two, and it went too far.
Okay, in 2019, 10/20, ITV aired the documentary An African Journey, in which Harry opened up about the growing distance between him and William, and in which Meghan committed. It's a very real thing to be going through behind the scene. Less than a day later, several newspapers, not surprisingly, including The Sun and the Daily Mail, but also the BBC reported that William was concerned about Harry's mental health and that Harry and Meghan were in a fragile place. My goodness, this is really step by step. That's pretty much it. I remember everything that she's saying here, or he. So they tried to sort doubt about Harry and Meghan's judgment. In 2021, Kensington Palace compelled ITV to edit out an interview segment in a documentary where Scobie drew a connection between these events. Oh my God. And then Omid wrote the book. I need to read the book. I didn't buy it. In January 2020, it was leaked, probably by the partner of William's press secretary, Christian John, to Dan Wootton, The Sun, that Harry and Meghan would like to relocate to Canada and were willing to renounce their Sussex title before an attempt to relocate to South Africa had failed because of a leak by the royal family. All this is to prevent him from moving, but to separate them. This time, the publication forced Harry and Meghan to a quick decision and into an unfavorable negotiation position. On 20 January 12, Prince William publicly withdrew his solidarity from Prince Harry. I've put my arm around my brother all our lives. I can't do it anymore. I mean, you never did. You never did. Even as school kids, where Harry was hoping you back him up, but instead you ignore him.
Probably one of my first days, isn't it? Probably me turning up thinking I've got my older brother at the school, he'll be looking after me, when in fact he just ignored me.
Alright, the family summit at Sandringham was scheduled in a way that Meghan couldn't attend. Once again, Harry was separated from his support network. They presented him with the choice between all in or all out, meaning the option to stay in an abusive system and likely lose his wife and child sooner or later, or be completely on his own. They believe this. Okay, next one. They believe this will force him to stay and regain control over him. However, he chose to leave the country with his wife. In the Sandringham agreement, the royal family punished Harry and Meghan to the fullest extent. They withdrew the funding, the security, and everything that mattered to them. Particularly, they also stripped Harry of his uniform and military honorary position. And Harry respond to this and the Invictus game. It doesn't matter what you wear or whatever. I forgot how you put it. If I find the video, I'll put it.
The uniform you've been wearing this past week will give you a new story to tell. And for others, it may give your old uniform new meaning. But I'm here to remind you that after all this, you don't need to rely on a uniform, nor should you ever feel lost without one.
Okay, uniform and military honorary. The only concession was a 1-year trial period. This is where things went fully haywire. Alright, Charles intervened in that. Okay, the only concession was a 1-year trial period. On the same day, a joint statement was put out without Harry's permission. But, this part, I'm telling you, this person is paying attention. Because this part came from the docuseries on Netflix. Wow, they're plugging everything together very well. On the same day, a joint statement was put out without Harry's permission, but in his and William's name, denying that William had bullied Harry out of the royal family. In February 2020, only a few days after a conclusion of the Sandringham agreement, Charles invited selected journalists to Dumfries House, Scotland, hosting them overnight, vining and dining them. According to the Byline Time, the royal family signed off a 12-month... Oh my God. I didn't read that part on the Byline Time. Okay, so many things to do. I don't have time to read everything. The royal family signed off a 12... Yeah, I know about the 12-month assault. 12-month assault by the UK media to make Harry and Meghan unattractive to business partners aiming to make the one-year trial period fair. The UK media considered the four estate a watchdog for government, parliament, and the court hardly. You know, the thing is that what's going on with the court system here, where Harry said it's ongoing, that 18 part that the judge removed as part of the result of the phone hacking, I could understand the judge removed that. I don't think Charles even needed to go to court. Allegedly, if Charles thought his name would pop up or the royal family name would pop up in the result of the trial, to do that, because if the system was for the trial was about phone hacking, and then you have the royal family giving information, so it's completely separate. So Charles just what he did before the result, the day before of the court giving the result of the trial, it was unnecessary. If he was thinking logically, but then again, when you're afraid of things, you tend to you outed yourself. So he pretty much outed himself here. Eventually, they will get to the bottom of it. Okay? Because Harry said he's ongoing. So eventually, they're going to pinpoint who's telling certain thing. One thing will lead to another, and eventually the royal family will come out. Whoever the royal family was giving information to put on the papers.
Much of the negativity towards the couple is coming from within the royal family. The royal family and staff of the royal family are the ones that are very often leaking these stories to the press.
Once they corner that person out, eventually they will speak. Alright? So Charles pretty much just did this unnecessarily, pretty much prove the corrupt of a person that he is. The day before, that's what he did. But you could understand why. I don't even think the judge had put that, you know, the way the result was. I think it was already written exactly the way it was. The 18 part that they didn't include, they only put the 15, which was part of phone hacking. But the royal family was not part of the phone hacking. You understand what I mean? It would have been nice to just say they outed themselves out there, but they were not part of phone hacking. Okay, in addition to the highest official of the... Okay, did I read this? Let's see here. In February 2020, only a few days after conclusion of the Sandringham... Okay, yeah, I did. Business partners, aim, watchdog for government, parliament, and the court, hardly. Okay. Okay, let's see here. 12 months assault by the UK media to make Harry and Meghan unattractive to business partners, aiming to make the one-year trial period fair.
Harry and Meghan are incredibly marketable. I'd call them the new young Obamas. They're going to make an ungodly amount of money, and you know what? They literally could become billionaires over the next 20 years. If either of them came on Shark Tank, I wouldn't even wait for them to pitch. I'd be like, I'm in, whatever you want, yes, because they are so marketable. It'll be so easy to develop products and projects for them, with them, and around them. It'd be, yes. Can you hook it up?
The UK media considered the four estate a watchdog for government, parliament, and the court, hardly. In addition, the highest official of the royal household threatened Prince Harry, urging him to withdraw a lawsuit against Prince William's press secretary, Chris John, which will make the symbiotic relationship between the royal family and the media visible in court. That's the thing here. Or he will face severe consequences within 24 hours. Harry refused. In March 2020, Harry's family has their security withdrawn to force him back to the UK under the control of the royal family. Well aware of the death threats of the right-wing terrorists.
But there were many serious, credible threats against Meghan, were there, emanating from the far right?
Absolutely. If you'd seen the stuff that was written and you were receiving it, the kind of rhetoric that's online, if you don't know what I know, you would feel under threat all of the time.
So you were convinced that there was a genuine threat to Meghan's life on on more than one occasion, on several occasions?
We had teams investigating it. People have been prosecuted for those.
And that Harry couldn't afford the security for his family himself. Thus, the royal family knowingly and willingly put the lives of Harry, Meghan, and Archie at risk. In June 2020, the royal family stopped the funding. In Meghan's civil case against the Daily Mail, Prince William supported the opposition side by allowing Jason Kenoff and staff members to submit a document not requested by the court.
Please explain, what was the significance on the witness statement from Ed Verity, better known as Ted Verity?
Ted Verity, the editor of the Mail on Sunday, said in his signed witness statement that he had been given information that helped support Associated's case. He said this information came from a senior palace source, and he said in his witness statement this was, quote, not gossip or tittle-tattle.
What does that mean?
What it means is that a senior figure in the royal household, according to the Mail on Sunday, was passing him information in order to help defeat the Duchess's case.
Yep, there's the thing here. This is literally step by step of everything leading up to now. 3 days before the Oprah interview, Jason Kenoff initiated an investigation into Meghan for bullying. If one doesn't have something incriminating against someone, it's typical tactic also seen in many companies to accuse someone of poor leadership because one can always find one or more disgruntled employees. The timing of the investigation, 3 days before the scheduled interview and 14 months after Harry and Meghan's departure, is suspicious. 2 of the 3 employees who had made the allegation had long since withdrawn them and did not want to be the subject of such an investigation. The result of the alleged investigation were never disclosed, if this investigation ever took place at all. That's very true.
Royal household about someone who was, at the time at least, a very senior member of the royal family. Meghan was married to the 6th in line to the throne. And, you know, this is very serious indeed. But one other thing that I've learned is that whilst this bullying claim was submitted by their then chief communications officer, the head of comms at Kensington Palace, the staff involved didn't know that it had been submitted, and when they found out, they asked for it to be rescinded. So we've got quite a difficult story here about a bullying complaint.
The allegations of bullying that Meghan faced in the workplace, in the royal workplace at the palace, somewhat complex, because we talk about allegations and accusations. We've heard the word bullying thrown around. In fact, even the palace put that on a press statement when they announced they were launching an internal investigation. What we haven't heard are any examples or anecdotes to back up these claims. And, you know, when we spoke to many of the sources that helped us throughout this book, people who are for and some who are even not particularly on the side of the Sussexes, no one was able to give any information that supported or backed up those claims of bullying. And when we dug into it even further, we found out that the individual who had made the claims of bullying in the workplace at the palace was sort of speaking on behalf of a few others in the workplace. This was a concerned boss. He was the private secretary to the couple and to William and Kate, who had written to the Human Resources Department to air his concerns over how staff were feeling. Now, what we detail in the book, and I've already gone into detail with in the past as well, was that 2 of these individuals, when they heard that that complaint was made, immediately went to their boss and asked for the information to be rescinded. They wanted to take back any allegations of bullying. So that leaves a few question marks over what these bullying allegations are. We've yet to hear actually what happened. No one's come forward with that information, and the palace say that the investigation continues. We may not hear anything until next year. I would imagine it's something that the couple would like to put behind them. I know that they were very supportive of an investigation going ahead because it helps them get to the bottom of the matter as well. But so far, there's very little evidence to back it up.
After the publication of Spare, the royal family saw doubt about Prince Harry's sanity once again. Prince Harry kidnapped by cult of psychotherapy, and the king took Frogmore Cottage of his son's family, a gift from the Queen. Harry and Meghan had, in the Sandringham agreement, agreed to pay back the renovation cost amount to £2.4 million. Now the king then repaid them. Despite the increase in value, Harry and his family thereby lose the opportunity to stay securely in the UK, and the king has deprived himself of the opportunity to see his son and grandchildren. And not only that, because remember, now they don't know when he's coming in and out. That's another thing here. Apparently, he has no interest, and the royal family has made Jason Kenoff a lieutenant of the Royal Victorian Order. That's I have a picture of that. Endgame isn't on racism and the question who was worried about Archie's skin color, but this question and the demand to revocate the Sussex title discussed by the tabloid are used to distract from what should really be discussed: the ruthlessness and the brutality of Charles and William, which in my view makes them unfit as head of state and church, as well as commander-in-chief, and the unhealthy relationship between the royal family and the tabloid. This is very good. This is everything. I'm surprised she couldn't put that on a tweet. That will take a freaking several other threads. Let's see here. Let me read this and go into that. William's henchmen operate at his behest. He promotes them. They all play a role in targeting Harry and Meghan, be it accusing Meghan of bullying, launching an investigation, attempting to thwart Meghan's suit against Daily Mail, leaking for cash to Wooten, burying cash for leaks. There's all of them here. Wow. That's pretty much the main players here. That's that. Let's see here. I said, let me go into that and then I'll go to the next tweet. What do you think are wrong facts? Okay, what do you think is the wrong fact? Okay, brilliant summarization of events that transpired in addition to the retaliatory method used against whistleblower at a publicly funded institution. That's another thing. That's for the UK. So Harry doesn't like his personal message hacked, but has no problem revealing Catherine's message and his book Spare. Make it make sense. What the? Okay, maybe I'm missing something. You know, Catherine could call him to court as well. Alright, but anyway, so let's go to the next tweet. Oh my god, I do not want to make a third video. And I'm still editing video from yesterday. What did I do here? Okay, I did something wrong. Next tweet. Oh, too much reading. I just want to read tweets. Okay, Prince Harry was able to prove that the Mirror hacked his phone on 15 of the article, and the Mirror was able to show that some of the articles were leaked from the royal family against Harry. This is why they threatened to remove his security if he didn't drop the lawsuit. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, Harry was ready to pursue action against the Sun in early 2020. The Duke of Sussex wasn't relying on his brother's cooperation anymore because by this point, he had all the evidence he needed, relevant documents, intel from Scotland Yard, and information from other journalists, including sources at the paper itself, who had passed detail along to his team. Armed with dossier, Harry went to the very top of the institution with a formal complaint and a suggestion that they take appropriate action against the Sun. The response Harry received, however, was far from what he expected. The Lord Chamberlain overstepped. There on Buckingham Palace headed paper was a reply from the Lord Chamberlain, at the time Earl William Peel, who had a particularly close relationship with Charles. The letter, a source said, included, quote, some of the most strong, end quote, language seen on official household stationery aimed at Harry, not John. Quote, it was a threat, end quote, said a source close to the situation, who added that the Queen wasn't consulted before the palace issued it. And it continues, the Lord Chamberlain said either drop the charges or face severe consequences in 24 hours. End quote. A message from a lawyer for Jones arranged by the palace soon followed. The decree stand down from legal action against Prince William's aide. My God. The palace in ass covering mode. Aspiration, Harry pointed out to palace aides that he was not suing the aide or anyone on this matter. This is the part where Charles don't need to go over there to do that, because it's not about the palace. It was about the phone hacking, and I think the judge saw it. So what Charles did going to court was unnecessary, and then also outed him in a way, even though the reason why he went to the court was otherwise. Okay, it just doesn't look good on him. That's all I'm saying, in my humble opinion. He simply had a desire for the situation, a public official with deep connection to private information about a senior royal being shared with a national newspaper to be properly dealt with. For the Duke, enough was enough. The Sun had a long and controversial history of inappropriate relationship with public officials, and the palace at one point was also keen to put an end to these practices. The palace basically accused Harry of wanting to sue his brother's private secretary, causing great distress to Christian. The source continue. When they asked him to provide more evidence, Harry refused. At this point, he already had plenty, and given how defensive they were being of Christian, it was clearly going to be used to help him and not Harry. Okay, so that's that. Alright, Lord Chamberlain William Peel told Prince Harry that if he didn't withdraw his case against the Sun in 24 hours, he will face severe consequences. Ravik then goes against his own policy for the first time ever. Oh my god, so many information. This is a retweet within that. Let's see here. Come on, go in. Okay, Ravik goes against its own policy for the first time ever to remove Harry's security. Alright, so there's that here. This is what I just read. And there's more here. Harry claimed to have been subject to unfair treatment and that a far inferior procedure has been imposed to Ravik, which lacked the critical safeguard in their written policy. It's like if the royal family didn't get involved in so many unnecessary parts, none of this would have happened. Whatever they did back in not that I'm saying it's right, but if they had stopped from that point on, I'm telling you, it's like they're digging themselves deeper. Each time they try to solve one thing, they're digging themselves deeper into things. Okay, no good reason has been provided for singling the claimant out in this way. His barrister told the judge, adding that the Duke had only discovered that the policy will not apply to him because he brought legal proceedings forcing the government to disclose this fact. She claimed that he had been giving no explanation for such treatment. As far as they were aware, it was the first time Ravik had deviated from his own policy in this way. The Duke was clear to bring the challenge in July 2022, and the claim will be heard over 2.5 days starting from Tuesday. However, the majority of the hearing will be heard behind closed doors after a privacy order was issued over concern that a vast amount of the evidential materials cannot enter the public domain. And making the bid for the challenge, lawyers for Harry said the security arrangements set out in a letter from Ravik and their application when he visited the UK in June 2021 were invalid due to procedural unfairness because he was not given opportunity to make representation. Shireen Fatima Casey for the Duke told the High Court in London last year, quote, he didn't know at that stage that royal household was involved at all. He was told it was an independent decision. Alright, so there's the part here. Remember, this include, I'm going to go over it really quickly, where Charles replaced the Queen Secretary, and then the Queen Secretary, the new Queen Secretary was not giving information to the Queen. The reason why Charles decided to switch the secretary is because the old secretary who was there for 10 years did not take crap from Charles and Andrew. But Charles wanted someone who is weak that could listen to him. So once he changed that secretary, which was supposed to be the eyes and ears for the Queen, instead, it becomes the eyes and ears for Charles. And when Charles tells him, in my humble opinion, don't tell the Queen certain things, and then he didn't do it. Okay, which means he didn't do his job as the position that he was appointed to by Charles, which was to support the Queen. Okay, so I explained that in so many other videos. Okay, so let me move on. Alright, oh my god, there's more things here. Let's see here. While the royal family does everything to protect UK tabloid, today the Sun had to settle claims with celebrities due to their use of illegal information gathering methods. Only Prince Harry has stood up to the tabloid, and his case is in January 2025. So there's more here. Alright, Sun Publishers pays out to celebs over claims of hacking, blagging, and deception. News group newspapers apologized to the claimants, who include Mel C and Catherine Tate. Here, I think I share it with you either on my community board or probably in one of my videos. Alright, so there's that here. Okay, no matter what, he can't do anything against his brother. Okay. Who can't? I mean, Harry is going after the people who was let's see here. What also? Okay, Willie is doing it to. That's the way I see it here. Willie is doing it to him. The same way Charles went to the court where he didn't have to, because the thing was about the phone hacking. The judge is not stupid. I guess he just wanted to reassure and make sure. Oh, someone just sent me a message. I'll do that next. It must be very important. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I already covered it. Okay, my message just popped up here. Okay, so let's see here. Willie is doing it to himself. Harry could have been a great asset. Meghan as well. If that had been civil, polite, mature adult about it all, it would have been benefited to the monarchy. But no, Willie does Willie. He's going to bring it all down. Harry will be watching from the beach. Okay, he didn't need to, other than expose the truth. Also, Pegs and Mumbles are doing it to themselves and the monarchy as a whole, just like Charles just did yesterday or 2 days ago, I would say. Okay, went to the court the day before the result was supposed to be said. The same way, like he's digging how do you call this? While you're digging a hole for your opponent, you might as well dig one for yourself. For just one of many examples, see the appalling colonizer Caribbean tour. Okay, so there's that here. I'm done with this. Now this is new. Let's see. I'm gonna blur some stuff out. I don't want to show who's sending. Oh, this I have it. It's at the end. Alright, I have this at the end. I saw it already. So I have this at the end. That might be on another video. Okay, next tweet. Okay, so there's this here. Good King Harry told mother, and the world are proud of your growth. Alright, sometimes I'm confused with this woman. Sometimes when she says certain thing, I can't believe what's coming out of her mouth, and I'm confused if it's her or somebody else. But I think it's the same person, because the way she swing her opinion, it's unbelievable. It's not consistent. Alright, but let's listen to her.
Today's ruling in favour of Prince Harry as the victim of phone hacking is monumental. Not just in legal terms, because this involves liability and damages for NGM Group, but more broadly because it required Harry's level of celebrity, entitlement and money. He had to be bonkers rich and famous to be able to do this. In the world of the free press, post-Levinson, half of which was kicked into the long grass, in the end, they became their own judge and jury. Not good enough, but until you had a key establishment player leaving the establishment and turning his guns around on the lawn and pointing it straight at them, there was not sufficient accountability. And what else does this tell us? Which will be uncomfortable for the institution of monarchy. It tells us that Harry was right. He genuinely had a cross to bear and he wasn't sufficiently supported by the royal family.
I won't be surprised. It's done, by the way. I won't be surprised in another video you might come out hearing her saying something completely opposite. Let's see here. I don't want to read long thing. Okay, a tale of two princes. Murdoch firm pays secret phone hacking settlement to Prince William. Okay, Prince Harry wins phone hacking court case. Yeah, that is true. Tales of two princes. That is true. Judas hero. Okay, we know about this already. Okay, I was always a fan of Harry and Meghan, but his book helped me see and understand what they had to endure from inside that family as well. I watched the Netflix documentary before I started Spare. At the wedding, there's a footage of William giving Meghan the stank face. Look at the way. I'm glad you watched it. Everything about them is understand, and most of this troll just believe everything the British press and royal misinformed them with and bully and harass Harry and Meghan. So there's that here. His mother will be spinning in the grave, ashamed of the man-child she spawned. Who? Must be William. Let's see here. After this, that's it. You're correct. William is a great disappointment. Okay, let's move on. Okay, next tweet. So there's this here. Okay, I shared that already where I'm saying omit. Piers Morgan was saying about phone hacking. Okay, tap headline from The Guardian. Piers Morgan denies knowing of phone hacking after judge ruled he did. Alright, so let's listen to this.
There was a spate of stories that came out because of mobile phones. When they first came out, mobile phones, journalists found out that if the celebrity hadn't changed their PIN code,
yeah, you can access their voicemail.
You can access their voicemails by tapping a number. Now, are you really telling me that journalists aren't going to do that?
Yeah.
If they know they can ring up Charlotte Church's mobile phone, listen to all her messages, right? Now, All you have to do, and I know it's hard because celebrities don't like doing anything for themselves, is actually change your security
I've
number.
changed my security number.
And now you don't have to worry.
Exactly.
Look, it's very comfortable saying how to do it. Okay, so let's go to the next tweet. Okay, Piers Morgan's rant about Harry wanting to destroy the royal family might seem unrelated to Harry's case, but consider the unwavering support the royals received from the media compared to the blanket hate for Harry and Meghan. Then ask why the royal family pressured both Harry and Meghan to drop lawsuit they ultimately won. It's true, the same thing with with Meghan too. Okay, on why senior royals warned Meghan Markle not to pursue bitter court battle, and now there it is here, where Daily Fail was supposed to put something big the same way that I don't know, the court dictate what they should have done on the front page, but they put it very small. Okay, but the squad went and created their own front page. King Charles tried to stop Prince Harry's hacking claim, court hears. Prince Harry wins damages and phone hacking case against Mirror Tabloid. Alright, so there's that here. Okay, according to one of Diana's private secretaries, Diana was paranoid that her phone was being bugged toward the end of her life. Diana can now rest in peace. Well done, Harry. Well, Harry is not done. Okay? Because they're still going after him. They're not gonna stop. So Harry have to continue. In video 1 of today's date, you know, I say about the wind, flowing with the wind, instead of fighting with them like that, going against them, just because they will not leave Harry alone. So in order for them to leave him alone, he has to fight them. Okay, imagine how many friendship it ruined for her, and now isolated, it made her feel to constantly see things she shared privately with people find its way to the paper word for word. Yeah, and the other thing is that I was saying regarding Heather Mills and Paul McCarthy, when they were talking, you know, only the two of them, maybe their marriage were a rock bottom or something, but seeing this thing going on front page, now both of them can probably don't trust each other. They don't know who's saying what to whom, and then that probably destroyed the marriage even more. Will he give his £140,000 to something worthwhile or packet it? I mean, he fought for it. Who cares? Whatever he wants to do with it, that's his business, not yours. He fought for it. Everybody just sit back and others just took the money and run away. But he fought for it. So why everything that Harry does, you have to worry what he does with it? Okay, because he can't. There's more battles to fight. Okay, that's his business, not ours. He took the financial, that's it. He took the financial risk on his own, and had he lost, no one would be chipping in to help cover his legal fees. Exactly. That's exactly that. My goodness. It's none of our business. Okay, he could buy thousands of, even though it would not cost that much, whatever flashy thing, even though he's not about that. That's his business, his money. Like Pagan said, he took the financial risk, not us. There's that here. It's in the media. It's our business. Well, he won. So that's all. That's why it stopped. He won. And then the thing go into his pocket. That's it. That's where you and I, whatever he does with his money, that's his business. That's it. Whatever that was supposed to be in the media is already out. That's it. That's all we need to know. It's our business. Ordinary people have no redress to media intrusion in their lives. What the F is this? The media part is stopped the minute the judgment came. Okay? Now, oh my God. The reporting of this case is our business. What Harry does with his own money is, oh my God. That's it. I can't believe Pagan Trelawney continued that conversation. Ordinary citizens do have legal redress. However, media houses make it so that very few can afford it, and those that can afford it don't seek redress for fear of media attacks on their reputation. Okay, I dispute that the wealth of the ultra-rich is their money. It all has its tool and all garden loot and exploitation. Well, Harry, you know where it stopped? The minute he left the UK. Okay, everything he had, he owned it himself. Okay, with the help of his wife. Okay, because they took everything away from him. After that, you guys have no say. It's not public money. It's none of that. Okay, that's for you to discuss with the royal family, who the taxpayers giving money to. Okay, I detest Piers Morgan as much as the next person. I'm disinterested in the royal family soap, but this is where you should be interesting because they're taking taxpayers' money. So, but if Harry wanted to be popular, when did Harry say he wanted to be popular? Rather than self-obsessed, he donated. No, he doesn't have to if he doesn't want to. Why everything Harry does, he has to donate? It's none of your business. Okay, if Harry wasn't interested in kneeling to the media for popularity, I doubt he'll be interested in buying popularity from the public. Not everyone is obsessed with being liked by strangers who blow whatever the tabloid point. I hope he does whatever he wants with his money. That's it. Okay, if the royal family should be a subscription-only service. What the F? What the hell? And the other thing too, right after the judgment, this is where the tabloid who keeps on reporting BS non-stop, this is where they should be reporting to you guys what had happened in the judgment. But the majority of them shut their mouth. Okay, so the minute Harry won his case, it made public. Okay, media outlet can discuss what went on, the result of it, and everything else. We could discuss like I'm doing right now, discussing about the result, what happened leading to, or whatever. But it is not our business what he does after the judgment. It's up to him if he wants to share it. This is where, you know, the privacy come in. He shares what he wants to share with us. It is not our say what he does with his business. Like Pagan Trelawney said, okay, he took the risk because if he had lost, he would have to shed the money himself to give to the tabloid for whatever costs the judgment asked him to pay. So he took the risk. That's his responsibility. Now he took the risk and he won. Whatever he does with his money, that's his business. He wants to give it to charity. Oh wait, nice for the charity. He doesn't want to. That's fine as well. Nobody, zero, nobody, not even Charles, not William, nobody, okay, has a say. Not even Meghan. Okay, Meghan doesn't have a say on how Harry spent that money he just won. The only thing though, they have to make sure they pay their own bill though. They have enough money to pay their bills together as a married couple. But this is his. I think it should be abolished entirely, but that's not really relevant to this conversation. Okay, well, okay, but we need to liberate them from their wealth too. Oh, well, that's your problem. Harry already left. Harry is nobody's business anymore. Whatever Harry does, it's none of our business. But this was public. The tabloid, the lawsuit was public. This is where we should be interested in. We know what we need to know. The minute the judgment came, hey, it's none of our business what he does after that. Okay, now if another case goes to court, then you might be interested in that. But after that, you know, once the case is done, it's closed. This is nobody's business. Okay, we need to liberate them from the wealth that comes from assets that rightfully belong to the nation, like the Crown Estate, but that clearly doesn't include damages awarded by a court in a phone hacking case, which is why I say I don't see the relevance of this conversation. I give Pagan Trelawney a lot of prop here because I don't understand why this person is saying what Harry should do with his money. That's very good. Okay, isn't Piers under court order to keep Harry and Meghan's name out of his public mouth? Well, I don't know anything about that during the trial, but it's over now. Okay, I wasn't fully aware. If I did, I forgot. Okay, they were warned it was unwise, which is hardly being pressured. Yes, they were definitely giving Stem warning, but it went much further than that. And that in the case of Harry against the Sun, he was giving a threat with a 24-hour deadline, and when he then gave in, they carry it out. The relationship between the royal family and Murdoch deserves more scrutiny. Exactly. Oh my God, there's some good conversation. Okay, after this, that's it. Okay, this is someone that I black. I have every right to question the relationship between the media and the royals as it affects us all. If you don't care about corruption in those institutions, that's on you. But I do. Very good. Okay, is he saying the monarchy is co-editor of the news organization being sued? You can literally see that it's falling apart since Elizabeth passing. I sense between Charles and William. I also sense there's infighting between the firm and the media. Paul Dacker letter for control. Yeah, I have this in one video. I think it will get messier when William gets to the throne. Okay, as Harry said, the media have a shit ton of dirt on the royal family. If the media keeps getting exposed and the court loses to Harry and Meghan, they may start revealing some of things the royal family want to keep buried. It's mutually assured destruction because the media will lose their soap opera. Yeah, like Paul Dacker said, they wanted the royal family to be like a soap opera. You know, create that fantasy thing for the people. I mean, it seemed like it was working, but until they intrude onto Meghan thing. But Harry didn't like that since he was young. But the minute they tried to get his wife into it, and that was it. Okay, like I keep reminding folks, the royal family then survived for 1,000 years without being ruthless. The viciousness is there for anyone who cares to look. Like I said in one video, everything is playing out right to the open. People just need to, you know, plug the dots and look. Look at her. Some of the thing I heard, I haven't read it yet. The Endgame by Omid. Most of the things were public already. He just plugged them together for people to see. Harry is a soldier for justice. Things that affect him cause others pain too. The monarchy tried to scare a human being who had already decided years before to put his life on the line to defend others in danger. That's a very good way of putting that. Okay, definitely after this, okay, after this, so that's it. He said it to win over the public. Most UK public are still shipped within the loyalty blanket of the royal family. Like Harry said before, if you can't see it, he can help you. Okay, he's doing his best. So if the people don't want to help themselves, that's it. Okay, if he can't get them on his side, it won't even matter. The result of his case is how he's maintained popularity. No. Once you're in the court, if you have a judge who's following the rule of law, it's not about popularity once you are in the court. Okay, once you're in the court, that's a different ball game. My goodness. People don't understand this, and this is why sometimes I'm afraid when, even for Harry's cases, Meghan's case, I was afraid for them, especially what I saw happen to Johnny Depp. Because Johnny Depp, I think, is the same lawyer that Harry has that was representing Johnny Depp. I saw, based on what I was able to see on Twitter, he proved Johnny Depp's case. Okay? And then some of those information in court in the UK was used in the US lawsuit that Johnny Depp won. So once you are in the court system, popularity or not popularity does not matter. If you have a judge who's following the rule of law, this is the key thing. Follow the rule of law and make decision based on the rule of law. It doesn't matter if people like you or don't like you. It's what's happening in the court. Okay? Okay, so let's see. It's how he's maintained popularity till now, being a full royal family advocate and while making Harry and Meghan royal family villain. Okay, I'm a little bit confused with this. The last part, I don't know if they're trying to say that Harry's trying to be popular or something. Okay, Piers Morgan's statement makes the British royal family look really pathetic, that the royal family will be destroyed by holding the press accountable. Okay, I did say I was gonna stop here, but since this popped up, okay, they really do keep outing themselves. Exactly. All right, they really do keep outing themselves. What Charles just did the day before the court released the result of the trial, just show some sort of a fear within Charles what the result could have been. Okay, it shows some sort of a fear because they did not want Harry to pursue this case. They really do keep outing themselves. There's zero subtlety, zero subtext. They literally couldn't shout, "We're all in the vile mess together," if they all got T's printed. I'm assuming that behind all of this somewhere is money. I mean, obviously. Alright, so let's go to the next tweet. Oh my god, where's my list? Okay, so let's see here. Oh my god, I do not want to make... Oh, the thing. because it's a vile threat to those who understand it. He's letting people know that if the press goes down, they are taking the royal family with them. The real question is, what gives the British media such confidence? The public needs to be asking that question. In video 1, I raised that question as well without even reading this though. I was like, why do they feel so confident to be doing some of the phone hacking and all of this stuff? Why do they have that confidence? It's because they know they can stand behind the royal family. So now if the royal family don't back them up, okay, it's like they're pushing the royal family in front and then they're hiding behind the royal family while they're doing their unethical thing. That's a very good question. Okay, what is Piers Morgan saying here? Why is he linking the destruction of the monarchy, the court confirmation of widespread phone hacking, other illegal activities? One would think the royal family is very happy with today's ruling as they were victims too. Okay, Duke on a mission to destroy monarchy, says Piers Morgan, and furious response. Okay. This P.O.S. Morgan knows that one way to rile up the public is to infer that Harry and Meghan, of course, are on a mission to destroy the monarchy. Does this here really know? Does really know something, or is he just self-aggrandizing loser? Paul Dacre certainly believe he can bring King Charles III and Willie to heel. Yeah, they have something on them. Okay, so that's too big. Alright, Piers is desperately saying he supports the royal family since it's aka Camilla is the only one who can protect him to some degree. We'll see how far that gets him now that his feet are closer to the fire. Okay, it's a warning shot to the royals, but I think he's jumped the shark on this one. The royal machine is more powerful and will hang Morgan out before he takes them down. There's a possibility. Okay, honest. I mean, they feel so confident with everything that they have, that they know or that they are doing. Who knows? Okay, you know what? Will they be able to survive what they put Harry to? Something like that. Honestly, what could be more corrupt and more nasty and humiliating than what we already know about them? His threat credible? I am starting to doubt the strength of the British media position. The only thing I can think of is a Prince of Wales child older than George. Okay. The only thing I can think of is Prince of Wales child older than George. Very interesting. Very interesting. There was one video that I did where I said, in my humble opinion, is William the actual heir? But this one, very interesting, because there's rumors of extramarital affair, Charles being born before certain things. I'll go into that in a few. Let me read these two and then that's it. I'm sure they have some serious dirt on Chuck et al. That said, the royal family is ruthless and has major pull with the government, police, and security services. I have a feeling that there'll be some tragic accident involve reporters if any major skeleton were to be hinted at. Alright, so let's see this here. I think the royal family should let the media take their best shot at them as Harry did. That's what I think too. And free themselves from that contract. Who is going to believe toxic British media? I think Charles have his pictures taken at the High Court was a message to the British media. He has the judiciary on side. Very interesting. Alright, so this one I didn't say. Okay, let's go into that, and then after that I go to the next one. So this has to do, I'm going into that because of the last sentence here. The only thing I can think of is Prince of Wales child older than George. So what we know of is that George is older, is William's firstborn. But is there something we don't know? Okay, the way they keep mentioning Diana makes me think it's a relation to her death. I guess I was living as assassination at the table. Phew. So they might know about... that didn't even cross my mind at all. All right, let's read on. Okay, it's ugly for sure, but if you look at the history of the royal family, how they benefit from her death, how they removed Harry's security, it seems far more realistic to believe they had her killed than it was an accident. There was something that I remember. I don't know if I read it or if it was a video, if I imagined it, I don't know. There was one specific reporter. And there's the question here. You realize an older child will be in the heir as the parents have to be married. I did not say he or she will be the heir. But when I look into that thing where I said I thought William will be the heir, but the thing that I found out, they have to be recognized by the crown. But then again, when you have the tabloid who seems to be running the show, but they might change the game on him as well. I don't know. It's a whole bunch of mess. Okay, I did not say that. He or she will be the heir. Nah, they got something on the British royal family. They don't want the public to know about that makes them so loyal to them, to the point of throwing another family member on the bus while also being complicit in it to keep them off their backs. Now, it goes way back. The media knows a lot about that family and can create stories too about them, and the subject will gobble them up. Once the media turn on them, that might be the end of it. The other thing is, they can't do some of this stuff with the Queen because the Queen doesn't play that shit. And that goes back to some of the things that I've said in some other videos. All these are my humble opinion. I said that there's a possibility that when the Queen father died, Queen Elizabeth II's father died when she ascended to the throne. Okay, this is where the media step in to control, to start molding Charles into being sided with them. Okay, in order for you to be loved, to be liked, you have to let us in, or let us be part of you, get good coverage and all of that. Okay, which is fully BS. Make him forget that once you are a king, you have that power to, well, in the UK it's not absolute power, but the king have more power than most people in that country. So they probably flush this out of his system to make it believe it's the media that that will put good things out there for the people to like you, when in fact the main thing is, once you are a king or a queen, all you have to do is make the people, once you get the people to like you, you do things for the people. There's many instances after instances where the monarchy could have been doing things for the people, okay, and then the monarchy won't have to worry about the tabloid. Okay, once the people understand what you're doing and they see your struggles or whatever, they will back you up. But what Charles and William have done, which is where the tabloid is invading on the people privacy, and then they're not doing anything to stop it, now they're making the people against them. I'm telling you, this is ridiculous. Okay, let's continue. After the so let's read everything. Everything is possible. Use your imagination. Now it goes way back. The media knows a lot about that family and can create stories too about them, and the subject will gobble them up. Once the media turn on them, that might be the end of it. Okay, so let's go to the next tweet. Next tweet. Oh my God, I'm just gonna finish read, and then yeah, I'm already an hour. Okay, so there's that here. Piers Morgan knows the pressure the press is applying on the royal family to silence Prince Harry. Alright, so there's that here, and I think I read it on the last video. There is a reason Harry repeatedly tells us and Spear that his father and brother are afraid of the press. Yeah. Okay, there is a silver lining to being the Spear. All of his effed up or public knowledge. Methinks Charles and William have some skeleton. Maybe it's not that dramatic. Maybe Murdoch and his pals are threatening to start actual reporting. The monarchy will absolutely be threatened, and may even destroyed by an adversarial press. Okay, the thing is, they don't have that power to silence anymore. I think they realized that a little too late. That is true. And this is why Harry wasn't playing with them. Since he was a kid, he did not want to play games with them. Put them in their place. There have to be that separation. But Charles and William want to mangle everything. They don't want to give that separation at all. The private and public life.
This is half my official role, but half my private role. This is what I enjoy doing, but the private life has to be private, and I hope people respect that.
Okay, and did all they had to do was leave Meghan alone, but now he will burn the whole thing down. Okay, I just like to say, okay, flame on. Kings are made, not born. Harry is a king. All right, just imagine, this is an ad, let's get that. Okay, just imagine if they left Meghan alone, the poisonous press brought about their downfall, and the trashy royals or ruin the monarchy all on their own. Yeah, okay, is the monarchy the British press? Okay, Harry has put everyone on notice. Mess with me, my wife, and my children, and I'll fight back. I love that he stands up for what's right. He will go down in history as strong and courageous. Why will Harry be on a mission to destroy the monarchy by taking on the tabloid media? Is that a threat piece? Okay, why is he acting like the royal family was his co-editor? The Mirror thought. Harry's case was brought the press hacking him, yet Piers is saying this lawsuit is destroying the monarchy. He's telling us that the monarchy and the press are essentially one, and if Harry destroys the press, he's destroying the monarchy, essentially proving Harry's point. Okay, he keeps bringing up monarchy every time he talks about Harry's cases. Why? Okay, everybody over there miscalculated how much fire Harry would be willing to walk through to vindicate himself, his wife, and his mother. Okay, after this, that's it. For institutions that are meant to be independent from each other for democratic purposes, it should be alarming to everyone that as the UK media practices are called into question is being framed as an attack on the monarchy. Okay, every time the press mention Diana, it's like they are warning Charles that they know the truth. Oh my God, that is true. I once believed her death was an accident, but even if it was an accident, it's clear they were happy with the result and were hoping for the same to happen to Meghan and Harry. Alright, so there's that. Here he is saying Harry is trying to destroy the monarchy. He should focus on his behavior. Harry can actually sue him if he wants. That's what I said when I heard the video of him saying that. I was like, what the hell? Harry could easily sue him for that, for defamation. Okay, Harry can easily sue him if he wants. His lawyer should have told the press conference was a bad idea. It will hurt him in the long run. He speaks before he thinks. But he knows what he's talking about. Alright, so I'm an hour here and I have more tweets. So let's do another video. Let's pause here. Okay, so we're gonna stop here. Let's do a prayer. The last prayer that I said was prayer for thanks and court result. Let's say prayer for protection and continue. Okay, continues the fight. Let's see here if there's something. Okay, faithful God, help us to trust you in these times of uncertainty. Let us rest on your words of comfort when we are weak and overcome with fear and doubt. Help us to feel your presence. Remind in our inner hearts your words to fear not, to rest assured that today you promise that you will fight our battle. Okay, so that's that. Alright, so please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. So this is the back end of the thing here. Alright, so I have more tweets to share with you, and I just rearranged this. I have 8 more tweets, and depending on how far I go, I'll add these 2 tweets in there. That's when I was in the middle of the recording, someone sent me, which I had already put on a list for a different video. Alright, so that's it. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.